So who is Tinashe Peter and why should anybody care? Now, I cannot answer the second question for you specifically, but I can definitely give y'all some insight into the first. Now, the year was 1996. The day was February the 14th. In a small country of Zimbabwe and an even smaller city of Harare, Zimbabwe, I was born. Now, unlike most newborns, I happened to be named not by my parents, but instead by my 6-year-old brother. Yeah, my folks decided to let a 6-year-old name me. Now, thank God, the 6-year-old happened to have a spark, I guess, of genius in that moment, because he didn't choose some name like, loser little brother or something like that. Instead, what he chose was Tinashe, which happens to be a name that translates into God is with us. And so from birth, I was Tinashe. And my middle name, I believe selected by the adults in the room, is Peter. Last name, you'll find out one day on Wikipedia. Now, the reason why I've made the conscious decision to get back to my roots, to come back to my name of origin, is because I feel like where we are going now, it is more important than ever to be grounded in who we truly are, who God made us to be. And again, it's in the name. God is with us. And of course, Peter, which translates into the rock that the Lord has built his house or his church upon. And so as I've come back to my faith, veering off multitude of times, finding myself in all sorts of belief systems, as I center myself back in the word of God, in the truth of God, I feel it is only appropriate to come back to my original name. Now, some of y'all got used to Aquarius Waive out there, and, thank you for joining along this ride throughout the tumultuous history of Aquarius Waive, whether I was somebody who might have triggered something in you. I maybe entertained you at some point. Maybe I did a little bit of both, right? But when it's all said and done, I did my best to deliver the truth from the place that I was. But even still then, I felt like there was an aspect of me that I wasn't necessarily fully expressing, or I was afraid to go fully there. And this wasn't just on camera. I mean, in my own personal life. I have literally had a journey and a half. I mean, even getting to the point where I changed my name to Aquarius, not by law, but definitely by social media. It was a long journey to get to that point where I essentially walked away from God and was, searching for some other meaning, significance, another form of God. And in all of that, I came to the realization that the truth is the truth. And knowing that truth, I'm never going to look to force that truth. Now, I will talk my talk. It's going to be, regular show as usual. Trust me, it's going to be exactly that. But I know that my purpose is greater than to essentially live behind a character that is not just fully me. And again, it's not that any of my content prior has not been as real as I could be, as authentic as I could be, but there was still a part of me that was wrestling with the truth, that was essentially wrestling, with what God was looking to reveal to me throughout this entire time. And so, no, I'm not about to get churchanese and religious on you, but I am going to stand on the perspective of that truth. God is with us. And I will try my best not to be hard-headed, because if anybody knows about Peter, formerly known as Simon, there's some hard-headedness, but I would do my best to be steadfast in truth. Simple as that. So, I want to also take a moment to thank you guys for being a part of this journey. We're just getting started. And I know that what God has for me and what God has for every single one of us is beyond our wildest imaginations. I really do. I believe that to my core. I believe we're here with purpose. And many of y'all feel that purpose rising up from you, in real time. And some of this purpose has been brought to surface by, deep tragedy, the loss of our brother Charlie Kirk, and seeing the condition of the world today. I mean, if it wasn't for the grounding force that is the living God, we would all go insane. Even for those who still deny and, want nothing to do with that side of the conversation, it's still the reality that there is a creative force in this life that is keeping it all together. And so again, the least I could do is to be in alignment with that force, in alignment with my creator, and to go in the path that I'm led. And I know we're about to take off to different levels and in different ways. And for me, it's never been about what it looks like from the outside. I've always told myself that if you're going to do this, you better be living it. So whether right or wrong, I've been living it, right? Whatever I preached on this camera here, whatever I said is what I was trying to exist as in my real life. When I was talking that woo-woo new agey, I was in that, deep in that. And I would likely share even more and more of that specific aspect of my life and how I found myself here as we move forward. And I do it in the context of different videos and different messages, etc. But again, I have always lived as a reflection, and I made myself the promise that so long as I turn this camera on, it's got to be real with y'all. And so again, this is where I'm at. I've wrestled with myself for the last 4 days, making excuses. Well, maybe you can change the meaning of Aquarius, but the reality is I chose that name as basically a sort of flag in the ground of, this is me. God's over there. I'm not interested in that God anymore. I want to be expressed as who I have chosen to be. And some may say, well, what's wrong with that? And personally, I would say, well, what about the one who created you and the purpose that he has for you? And so again, there is power in a name. Once again, Tinashe, for some of y'all who may need a few times to learn the pronunciation of it, Tinashe is God is with us, which in Hebrew would translate to Emmanuel. If you know, you know. And Peter is was the one that Christ had to tell to chill a couple of times over. That rock, that unmoving force. And so I will do my best again to continue to be that. But I just wanted this to be an official announcement so y'all know that you're not getting bamboozled by YouTube or whatever it is as well. Because some folks out there thought to themselves, who is Tinashe Peter? And why is he using Aquarius Waive's namesake or pictures or whatever it may be? So, yeah, I'm excited. I got so much for y'all. Like I've been on one already, but the place that we're going now, the depth at which we're getting to, ready yourselves. That's all I'm gonna say for right now. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for everybody who has been showing up, whether it is your first day or it is your last, right? It is, day 101, 300, 601. You just been here for the ride. I appreciate you. For everybody who's given $1, $100, who has given time, energy, attention, I am thankful. I am grateful. Whether you have agreed or disagreed, I am thankful for you being here. And again, our purpose and our mission is very clear. It is always in the pursuit of truth. Period.